Joe Firpo, who captured 7 of his last 8 matches last night just to qualify for the final 5. Parker Bohn III is currently ranked 4th on the 1993 money list with earnings in excess of $130,000. He's number 3, while 2-time PBA Player of the Year Amleto Monacelli will begin tonight's play from the runner-up position. And on top of the stack, after 48 grueling games this week, the 1992 PBA Rookie of the Year, Jason Couch. And welcome, everyone, to Woodland Bowl, located in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hi, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner, along with 3-time Tournament of Champions champ Mike Durbin. And, Michael, tonight a major championship to be contested here at Woodland Bowl. Let's talk about the Touring Players Championship. First and foremost, it's a 3-year exemption into the General Tire Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, and that's very important, Dan. A normal tournament victory gets you a 1-year exemption into that tournament. When you win here or win any of the major tournaments, you get 3 years, and that's a nice comfort zone to be in.
All right, time now to start from the bottom of the ladder and work our way up. Joe Salvemini has qualified number 5, and really he's had to overcome a lot of adversity. He hasn't won since '89.
And that's a long time for Joe. As you said, he's had a lot of physical problems. He's struggled with a bad back for a number of years, and earlier this year he broke his hand and it didn't heal right away. So he's working his way back up, but he says he's ready here.
Our number 4 qualifier, Joe Firpo, nearly broke through into the winner's circle in the final stop on the summer tour down in Homestead. He's a player that's bowling well and still looking for that ever-elusive first singles title.
Yeah, as you said, he finished second to the greatest bowler this year, Walter Ray, down in Homestead at the end of the summer. He's bowling very well. He finished 4th in the ABC Masters earlier this year, so he's put himself in position again. 4 victories tonight, though, will be tough.
I know that you always strove to be consistent on the national tour. Our next qualifier certainly has been that over the last 9 years. He has 9 titles. Looking for number 10, Parker Bohn III.
And one of the nicest guys on the PBA. Parker's won the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award more than once. Looking for that 10th title, which is something special to the touring players. They have a certain satisfaction about getting the number 10.
Our number 2 qualifier is a past champion in this event. He won it back in 1989. He's also won tournaments in 6 consecutive years. However, Amleto has not yet won here in '93.
But he's been close. He's bowled well all year, just hasn't been able to get breakthrough into that victory. But he's won this tournament before, and I think he's a real threat tonight, Dan. Speaking
of real threats, our top seed, Jason Couch, averaged 275 plus on this pair of lanes.
Well, what more can you say to that? He's looking forward to this match, and if he wins tonight, this will be his first major championship. 275 is hard to beat, Dan.
Well, let's see what he comes up with here this evening. We'll be starting our first match momentarily. $27,000 to the winner of the championship here this year, and in the opening match, Joe Salvemini and Joe Firpo. And we're just finishing warm-up shots here on the championship round pair of lanes 59 and 60.
At Woodland Bowl, and we had a slight breakdown there of 59. We didn't know whether they were going to get started on time, but they got it fixed rather rapidly.
Most of the fans don't realize what a tough job it is for the lane mechanics to have to sit on the pair of lanes during championship round play to make sure everything runs according to schedule.
Normally they have at least 3, maybe 4 mechanics sitting in the back for any problem that can arise.
Firpo to open up the match on the left-hand lane, and does so with a strike.
Joe had an excellent reaction and in practice was throwing maybe more strikes than any of the other 4 contestants tonight. So we'll see if that carries over into the live action.
And now your first good look at Joe Firpo, who kiddingly mentioned, or I should say Joe Salvemini, who kiddingly mentioned to you and I that he has a swing that you wouldn't necessarily teach a junior player, but it's worked very well for him.
He said, make sure that you tell him that it's kept me around here for 13 years. Just like that.
13 more years if he keeps throwing it like that.
Well, I don't know. He's 38 now, Dad.
Be ready for the senior tour.
All right.
Good quick start for both of our players. 13 years, 3 titles, and Joe has had a number of different problems, especially this year. Hurt his back, broke his hand, but he's overcome all that.
And that last victory in 1989 was a Columbia 300 Open in Austin, Texas. Trying for the double and through the beak. Leaves only the 4-7. The trouble with a swing like Joe's is it does kind of bounce around a little bit, and it's easy to get it offline. When you get it offline, the ball doesn't necessarily go where you want it to. Of course, even guys with straight swings get it all playing, too. So
he is a versatile type of a player, though. I've seen him qualify high when the scores were high and you had to hook the ball a lot. This week, obviously, he cut down in terms of the number of revolutions as he opens up in the second frame.
You know, he's trying to hit the 4-pin on the left here, and it's just an error. You know, cross lane at it. He's killed the ball. He's not going to throw it as much hook and less hook, figuring that it'll slide into it. Slight miscalculation. Firpo jumps on it right away.
You and I commented about Joe Firpo's attitude and his new approach to the game in terms of being a little more aggressive, a little looser in the championship round. And he looks to me right now much like he did in Homestead when he really bowled well.
Well, he's, to use the cliche, he's taking his game to another level right now. I mean, he's really starting to believe in himself and have more confidence. And we know that in any sport, confidence is that magic ingredient.
Another pocket hit. The 10-pin wiggles for just a moment, but then stands.
And you see him kind of flick his hand there. He knew that at the bottom of that swing, he just didn't quite catch all of it. I mean, that thumb came out pretty clean, but he just didn't quite get the finger lift that he wanted on that shot.
Out of Lake Worth, Florida. 28 years old. Been out here a number of years. He should be to the point now where he'll start to win a number of titles. Because physically, he's been one of the better players out there for a long time.
He's 28. He's been out here 11 years. He's gotten all the experience. If it's going to happen, it should happen in the next year or two.
Joe Salvemini averaged 226.3 on this pair of lanes throughout the week. Back in the pocket. This time it's the 7-pin.
He'll go cross lane at this. He's already gotten a feel for what it's going to do over there. And, we can see that he defeated Joe Firpo in the match play rather handily. But that doesn't mean a thing tonight, Dan. At the 7-pin.
All right, no problem there. I had a chance to talk to Joe prior to the telecast, and I asked him about the condition of that broken hand.
The hand feels really good. I just have to do a lot of physical therapy on it, but it's getting better. My flexibility is better. Pressure from the bowling ball doesn't seem to bother while I'm bowling, but after I finish, I got to ice it up and having trouble playing golf. But other than that, it's about 85%, and it held together so far.
When you like to play golf as much as he does in his off time, that's put a crimp in his style. Through the nose again, and he pays the premium price for this mistake.
Speaking of a crimp in your style, the question that I had at 85%, how in the world is he able to beat the best players in the world if that hand's only 85%?
He told me that he bowled some in the summer, and he should not have even attempted that. His hand was about 50% back. He said that was just a disaster. I should have never even attempted that.
He's got to go for this. The 6, 7, 10. Try and hit the 6-pin on the right. Slide it across. Going for it. A little too much.
Game effort by Joe Salvemini, but an open frame. And so Joe Firpo takes a 36-pin lead in the early stages here of match number 1.
Hi, is this space vacant?
No.
Then I'll sit down.
You want a Bud Light?
Not yet.
Hey, wait a minute. That's my Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
How about a little help here?
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for most valuable pain reliever.
The championship round finals of the Touring Players Championship are being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. and by Sports Cream. Fast pain relief and no odor. Joe Firpo, after opening up with a double, now leads by 36.
Yeah, he's in a commanding position already. Really loosen up that swing. He doesn't like that shot, but if you're going to set it short, get it over on the left side. He kind of gives it a smile. Joe Firpo holding the ball just under the waist. See the knee bent right there, feet together, pushes and steps right there. Very short first step. Now watch as he hits the pivot step right here. Swing is right shoulder high. Now he's going to drive through with a nice long slide. See how long that slide is? Back live. Another errant shot goes high. Seems like his concentration's waning a little bit here.
Set both those balls short and a little bit left. Well, we've learned one thing. If you do that, it's going left in a big-time hurry.
At the 3-6, hard and straight. Wow, I thought he was going to slide by it.
That's what Stephanie thought as well. But spare is converted. She didn't look like she had a whole lot of confidence in that shot.
A pained look on her face, didn't she?
She better get used to it.
My wife used to refer to my Donald Duck look. It kind of reminded me of that there.
Salvemini with a shaker. Well, if there's anybody here that believes he can win this match, it's Joe Salvemini, because I'll tell you what, he has a strong constitution, this guy.
Well, if Joe's going to do it, he better start going now. Entirely different style. 5-step player. Holds the ball right at the at waist high. Basically in both hands, his hand turned way around that ball. Controls the swing all the way through. Now, when he hits his pivot step right here, he again is at back. But look at how that hand is opened up right there. He drives through with a slide, turns that ball around, and looks pretty good right at the finish there.
Needs a double, and he makes the adjustment. So Salvemini with a salvo. At least he doubles up and closes the gap.
Trusted it both times, something that Joe Firpo has not done the last two shots. Comes in light, right around that second arrow, a little left of it. Hits light. Getting out that 5-6-10. Firpo better get his act back together. High again. 3-6 last frame, 3-6-10 this frame. That's 3 consecutive shots out of the pocket.
Be curious to see one of those shots in the first 2 frames as to whether or not he lofted the ball a little bit more. These 3 have all gone down right at the foul line almost.
Well, he always does put it down rather smoothly, but he's just not trusting it to the right, Dan.
He's not projecting it right.
Right, exactly. Having no trouble with some of these difficult spares. He needs to regroup here now. The lead's down to 23. He's got to get back on track, get the ball, trust it to the right. The first 3 shots were all excellent. Since then, all over the lot.
Got a nice break in the 4th when he threw the Brooklyn. See, that's a better shot there.
Over the foul line, yeah, you can see it.
A little more loft, a little more projection to the right. A strike for Joe Firpo as both gentlemen settle in. And we'll come back with a conclusion of our opening test here from Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis right after these messages.
The test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helps somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA Center, it's a whole lot more than a game.
Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy. Hey guys, and
Win with the Lilac.
The Lilac City Tournament plans to pay over $1 million this year.
Bowl and have fun in Rochester, New York.
Enter the high-paying men's team event,
the women's team event,
and the mixed team event.
Win with the Lilac.
There are 18 great events, including doubles and singles for men, women, and mixed.
We plan to pay out over $1 million.
Call 1-800-36-LILAC now.
Win with the Lilac.
The The Battle of the Lone Star State coming up Thursday night, 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time, Texas at Houston. And if you're interested in offense, Mike Durbin, tune into that one because those two ball clubs will go up and down the field.
Yes, they certainly will. Both of them been having a little trouble winning, though, this year.
Salvemini on a double, needing a three-bagger desperately. Could cut it to 13 pins if he strikes right here.
Nice shot. Pin rolling around. Not going to get it.
Was that the 5-pin that popped straight up in the air? Did you see the pin go up?
No, I missed that then. And I was looking basically at the 7-pin all the way. Same one that Joe was looking at. We can see it on replay as the ball hits really half pocket. Watch your 5-pin. No, there was another pin that went straight up in the air. Then it wasn't a 5-pin. I'm not sure which one it was. At the 7-pin, no trouble. So he stays 24 pins behind and running out of frames. We're heading for the 8th frame right now. He's got to basically take it out the sheet.
Could he use that?
Yeah, he sure could. That would have cut it down to 13 pins. So
he's really done a nice job of adjusting on this pair of lanes after the first 4 frames.
Well, he missed a spare. They got him in trouble right away.
No, you're not kidding. At this level, if you hand somebody an open frame, it usually comes back to haunt you. Wow. Salvemini dices up the rack, then stares down lane 59.
Well, he's aggravated. He threw that 7-pin well. Watch him come in light here. Now, the other hit where he came in light, that was the 3-pin that bounced up in the air. This time the 5 goes over and gets the 10. And he looks at it and says, "Take that, you."
Through the nose, and no, don't tell me. Yes, it's the dreaded Durbin, the 3-6-9-10. Come on, big fella, show us how you make this
one.
Well,
I'll tell you what, he's got to hit the 3-pin on the right with enough finish on the ball to get that 9-pin out. He's left the 3-6 before, but he's had to go across this way. Now that he's got to finish in to get that back pin. So he needs to hook this ball at it then, not just throw it hard and straight. Trouble? Nope. Very nice shot.
Well, he's been watching average builders.
Well, cross lane. Now he threw hard and straight before. You see the side turn this time? Even though he was a little off balance, it finished perfectly. That's exactly how you make it then.
Has room for 226. Salvemini could shoot 212.
He wants to strike here in the 9th frame, though, to maintain the count edge. He's up 4 pins in count.
Big shot there. Ooh, big time trust shot there. That was a gut check shot there, Mike Durbin.
Yeah, but he didn't think it was coming back. He was surprised that ball got back. Now watch the head pin just barely clip the 2. See it? That's the old bucket crumbler strike there. With the 2, 4, 5, 8 kind of crumble.
Old days, he might have set that ball a little short.
That's true, he might have.
Salvemini trying to dig in, stay alive. Picks out the 7-pin. This time it was just so nonchalant the last frame.
Same type of hit, better roll. Going to the 10th. We still have a chance here. 14 pins. The first one in the 10th cuts it to 4. Makes Firpo definitely show up. Off balance a little bit. Oh! Dices the rack. 7-pin falls over. That cuts it down to 4 pins. This one takes the lead for the first time in the match.
A gritty performer, this Joe Salvemini.
He's studying that rack. I don't think he likes it, but he's going to shoot it anyway. It's important to remember he can't shut out Firpo, though.
But he can apply some pressure.
Oh, another 7-pin.
7-pin. Boy, a couple of 7-pins. The difference, he left 1 in the 7th and now 1 on the 11th shot. That's all he's saying to himself is, well, I did my job. I hit the pocket, threw the shots the best I could, just couldn't carry.
Same type of hit as the first one. Only the first one carried. With the spare, he's going to wind up with 201. Make Salvemini mark in the 10th frame. He'll have to fill 16 pins.
You know, it's interesting, Mike. It was almost like Salvemini was in between. I mean, we only saw him really throw one solid pocket strike. It was either light or, you know what I mean? He just didn't look like he ever got lined up where he was lined up flush.
Well, we've only seen a couple flush hits as it is. Firpo has not hit the pocket on this lane since the 2nd frame.
Big roll. Ooh, and the plot thickened.
See, he just never gave it room on that lane. Now, he's had the opportunity at this spare several times. This is the 4th time that he's left it in this game. He's got to hit the 3-pin on the right and have it deflect. He wants to hit it right here and deflect on over. The interesting thing will be to see if he throws it hard and straight or whether he hooks it at the spare. Going hard and straight. And it does it perfectly.
Beautiful shot. Oh, sure. Now she'll applaud.
With a smile.
Well, we know one thing. She can keep score.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, yeah, but he still needs 6 pins here. And he switches balls. He still needs 6 pins. It's not a gimme. Is now.
Nice move. Where was that ball about the 2nd frame? Nice finish. Good opening match between a couple of talented professionals. 206 to 201. Firpo moves on here in the Players Championship. And coming up next, of course, Average Builders.
Just one more strike for a 300 game.
For the inside track on your favorite bowlers, become part of the PBA fan club.
All fan club members receive the PBA media guide and pro programs along with your official membership card. Also, for a limited time only, this Millionaires Club poster is included.
So don't wait. Call today. Call 1-800-299-4PBA for your membership in the PBA fan club.
I'm 101, and I love a kid's cereal.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are just for kids.
I say they're for my grandson, but he's 62.
Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
How does your Genie screw-drive door opener work?
Push the button on the garage and the door opens just like that.
As opposed to a chain, and if you've ever seen a chain on a bicycle, you'll know that it jerk, 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 jerk,
Genie screw-drive, built for a lifetime.
Imagine a cold medication so effective, one tablet keeps symptoms from coming back a full 24 hours. Introducing Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief.
Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours, Tavist after 12. So your symptoms keep coming back. But just one Effidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours.
So your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
You can see all the NFL action every Sunday. Sit back. Let us do the work. ESPN NFL Primetime. We'll find every bone-crushing hit, search out every key play, and mix insight from our pros into television's fastest hour of football. NFL Primetime. Sunday night at 7 Eastern, only on ESPN.
If you remember last week, we talked about the reactive urethane bowling ball and how it's the newest innovation to hit bowling in general and in specific the PBA Tour. This week we're going to talk about something just a little bit different. We're going to talk about weights in the bowling ball. Thumb weight, negative weight, positive weight, top weight. They can be very confusing terms to many of us, and weights in general seems to have some confusion in it. To help clarify all this, we again have the expert with us, the Player Services Director of the PBA Tour, Larry Lichtenstein. Larry, welcome back.
Thanks, Mike. Great to be back again.
Okay, let's get right to it. Nowadays, we hear so much about pin position. I think I'm in golf. Explain to me and our public out there what a pin position is.
Well, a pin position shows where the mass weight of the bowling ball is. Now, of course, this is the pin right here, but you can't see underneath it. So we have a cutaway right here. This cutaway will show you that underneath this pin, which is this area right here, is a mass weight. Now, if you take a car going down the road and the front end is wobbling, you'd bring it into a tire shop, preferably a general tire shop, and you would adjust that wobble by adding weight to the rim. A couple ounces of weight would stop the front end from wobbling. A bowling ball is the same way. We move this pin to add wobble or take away wobble.
Okay. So in other words, by moving this one way or another, I can change how this bowling ball rolls down the lane.
No question. In this cutaway illustration here, if we move this pin farther away from our grip area, and let's say our grip area is here and our track is here, we are adding wobble. This takes the ball down the lane before the ball hooks. Now, if the lane is very tight or very oily, we would drill the grip closer to the pin, somewhere in this area in here, with the thumb here, and have the track closer to the mass.
Okay, let me get this straight. This mass is underneath this dot.
That's correct.
If the lanes are dry and I want the ball to go further, I move my grip so that this dot is out here.
Yes, sir.
And if the lanes are tight and I can't get the ball to hook, I move my grip so that this dot moves down into this area.
Down into the lower positive quadrant and closer to your track.
Okay, there you have it from the expert himself. It seems that in the 90s, we not only have to know how to show up every Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday night, we also have to know a little bit about weights and a little bit about services, so it might pay all of us to have more than one bowling ball. We'll see you again next week from Chicago, Illinois, when we'll have another Average Builder.
Boy, certainly no generalizing in that tip. 206 to 201, Joe Firpo, a 5-pin winner in match number 1. When we come back, he'll take on Parker Bohn III here in Indianapolis.
At Radio Shack, we've always made the latest technology easy to understand for your family. And now our CD-ROM computers make it easy to bring entire libraries to life. Experience the power of Tandy multimedia computers. Only at Radio Shack.
The 3M Filtrete Clean Air Filter gets more of the small stuff that's in your air out. Stuff an ordinary furnace and air conditioner filter would miss. Like more of the dust. More of the pollen and mold. More of these particles that could irritate your allergies. It even gets more animal dander. Try the Filtrete Clean Air Filter. It gets more of the aggravating things in your air out. Even smoke. Look for the 3M Filtrete Clean Air Filter wherever you buy furnace or air conditioner filters.
I'm 101, and I love a kid's cereal.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are just for kids.
I say they're for my grandson, but he's 62.
Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Tomorrow night, the Texas Longhorns are put to the test against the defense of the Houston Cougars in a Southwest Conference showdown. Live on ESPN.
All right, Joe Firpo, a survivor in match number 1, had to make the baby split in the 10th frame. To get past Joe Salvemini, now he opens up against Parker Bohn III.
I would presume that he's gone to that same ball that he finished the match with. I really don't know because they're both basically the same color.
Well, we need to know where the pin is.
Right. Be interesting to see where the pin is on that ball. It looked like he got something that went further down the lane or hooked later.
He came up with something that reacted much better than the ball he had started with.
See, that's the name of the game now, Danny. It used to be we changed speed, hand position, and adjusted that way. Now the players change balls, they change weights, they positive weight, negative weight, leverage weight, all these different things to make the ball roll at a different place in the lane and hit the pins a different way.
All right, so what's the best of both worlds? Should you be able to do both of those things, or do you exclusively go to one or the other, or does it make a difference with what type of player you are?
I think it makes a difference what type of player you are. We have a guy like Joe Firpo, and we'll get back to that thought in just a minute. As we look at Parker, classic style of Parker Bohn. Holds the ball right here. He's going to push and step basically at the same time. There it is. Free swing from the shoulder as he hits his pivot step. When he gets right here, look at how high that backswing is. You don't think about that when you see him bowling live, as we see that going in straight. On balance with maybe the best follow-through of anybody on tour.
Let's get back to the point of, is it better to change equipment, hand positions, or learn to do both?
It depends on the player that you are. Most players out here like to change equipment and find it that way. But the player coming on next, Amleto Monacelli, basically does it without changing equipment.
Strike on the right-hand lane, which has been the trouble spot thus far for him.
Joe Firpo, right. He just had that 6 lean all over the 10, as we see. He's 28 years old, 11 years on the tour. No singles title. That one national title was a doubles championship in Las Vegas with Del Warren back in 1987. A long time ago, 6 years.
Firpo starts match number 2 the same way he did the opening game with a double. Let's see if he can continue the run. Left with the 2-8.
It's hard to maintain strikes on this lane condition right here.
Lane condition. We need to get into that specifically. I think somewhere during this telecast, it's a major championship, and Steve Cross, who did the lanes this week for the PBA, said, hey, we wanted to set up a condition that was fair and equitable, but one that wasn't easy for the touring players.
Right. It's the idea of major championships is they narrow the fairways and make it a tougher condition. As he goes hard and straight at the 2-8, and boy, they hit that 2-pin on the left and still made it. She couldn't look. Is that?
Parker Bohn on a strike, down by 8, could change that with an X here on the right-hand lane.
Parker crosses over with that first step. His left foot crosses in front of his right, and then he spends the rest of the approach coming back to basically where he started. You can't throw it any prettier than that.
Whew. What a beautiful shot there, and what a beautiful lady. As Mary looks on, what a great shot that was.
Boy, she looked really great tonight.
Yep, Parker the 4th, and Evan, their 2 children. Geez, I wonder who's babysitting. Is it Mom or
Grandma?
You're right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to grandchildren someday.
All of a sudden, Parker Bohn has said, hey, guess what, Joseph? I hear you, Pops. I'm right here.
What a beautiful shot here. Look at that swing. Now watch the follow-through, Dan. Right straight up through it. Just so free and comes off his hands so clean. Now look at it at 59. You see any difference? It looks the same there.
And Joe Firpo. Well, Joe's probably wishing that we stayed in more replays if he keeps throwing shots like that, because that was a strike, only on the wrong side.
Well, it's the second one he's had on that lane. He's really troubled on lane 60.
Is afraid to throw the ball right, and one of the reasons why, and rightfully so, is there's definitely an OB stake right in a certain area on these lanes. If you get a little too far right, it's not coming back.
And there's a lot of oil in the lanes. They've oiled the lanes 24 feet with a spray gun and then 40 feet with a machine. Wow, pretty shot there.
When he makes the good shot and projects it a little to the right, he gets a nice reaction, but there's something troubling him about that lane 60.
Well, so far it hasn't cost him, though. Look at how loose he threw this shot, though, Dan. I mean, he's down in the match. He's a little bit lost on the right lane, but he takes advantage of that good break of the Brooklyn. Wow. Parker didn't know whether that was going to hold pocket or not, but that good speed held it in there.
Hold pocket. That baby was Flush City when it left.
He thought it might have crept high, and it almost did. That speed that he has. See those eyes?
But
yeah, now see the reaction.
I mean, velocity and roll and accuracy. Come on, you're not supposed to have it all.
And balance he has, and plus a great attitude. Oh, you know, he's got the good mental game, too.
Having his best year ever this year. Oh, tried to wish that 7-pin down, and it just wouldn't work.
Mary's looking up at the score, and it's like all the wives out here and significant others, they can keep score. Cross lane at the 7-pin, hard and straight. Dead flush.
Got a good one brewing here at Woodland Bowl. Very close match between Parker Bohn III and Joe Firpo.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
In your quest to master the perfect bowling score, Columbia introduces the new Power Torque. It's beyond reactive. Columbia bowls the world over.
Top-ranked boxing. It's a battle of hard-hitting knockout artists as former junior lightweight champion Calvin Grove clashes with highly touted Pete Taliaferro. Top-ranked boxing tonight live on ESPN.
Rippon's back to pass. Durbin streaking down the sideline, wide open for the Redskins, but can't quite come up with the catch. That's right.
What I know.
National Football League coming back to ESPN this Sunday at 8 o'clock.
All right, we were talking about the lane condition. We can see from right here that they oil out to about 24 feet right here with the spray gun. Then they take a machine and go all the way down to 40 feet here. And this part out here is out of bounds, right like so. Now you can see here the construction of the lane. There's 3 different surfaces. This is a clear overlay right here. This is a low friction surface here and a high friction surface right there. So they have 3 different surfaces and 40 feet of oil and some adjustment to make, Denny.
So what they're giving you in essence by the surface is skid roll hook.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which is what a bowler is always looking to get.
Exactly.
Told me the high average in league play in this bowling center is 235 at this point in time.
Not bad. They said they had a lady bowl 750 the other night.
Thinking about moving?
No, I'm not thinking about moving.
Firpo down by 13.
Big shot there. He could have gotten right even in the match.
Right.
Don Mitchell, the tournament chair and proprietor here.
Great guy. Loves the sport of bowling. Just has done so much for the PBA Tour. And, of course, his good buddy Mike Albee, the PBA president, was here a little while ago. Michael heading out to Lake Zurich, Illinois, to practice tomorrow for the Brunswick Memorial World Open, which comes your way next Wednesday night on ESPN, wrapping up the 93 Fall Tour.
Another big tournament there, too. A lot of money in that one.
Whew. It's for all the marbles at the end of the year. Oh, my.
Wow, the 3-pin went right over the top of the 10.
That'll give you a headache. Look at Parker.
You see that on replay. Watch the 3-pin, and it hits flush. The 1 will hit the 3. The 3 goes up right over the top. Amazing. How does it miss it?
That's what Parker's thinking.
Well, he knocks down the 10.
Looked up at us and winked like, hey, guys, I can't do it much better than that. Oh, my.
12 pins, though. This match is still in doubt. If Firpo could finish it and figure out lane 60.
Parker is major league lined up on 59 and 60, so Joe Firpo is going to have to shift into an entirely different gear here down the stretch.
Well, he's got to do something on lane 60 as far as an adjustment. Now, is this just kind of a nonchalant strike? Thanks. You know, a little flip of the hands at it. Firpo, I think, needs to move deeper on this lane. Either that or just a lot more speed.
I think he moved deeper.
And then it doesn't come back.
That's what he was afraid of. So there's a reason why
these things happen.
You're not kidding. And he knows it in his mind. He's aiming out there at about 1/4 of an inch.
And it seems smaller than that in his mind. I mean, and then you're telling yourself, you know, to just make a good shot, be loose and relaxed, get the ball off your hand clean, and it just doesn't always happen. 2, 4, 5, 8, going straight at it, and doesn't knock out the 8. So, Mr. Firpo is falling further behind, and Parker looks like he's going to be moving on.
Joe turns away in disgust, down now by 24. Could go off the sheet for 224.
Yeah, but he's got a strike on the right lane that he is lost on.
He got a finish on the right lane.
trouble with 59.
No, not at all. It's got to be frustrating at times to be in that position where you've got one lane down pat, the other one, you just have to be perfect or you don't strike.
Well, it's especially frustrating when your opponent's got both lanes down pat.
Yeah. Parker looking to put the finishing touches on this match, and he rides high on lane 60.
And didn't do it. You know, I've been talking about him creeping high on that lane. And we were talking about having to master both lanes. You know, I can't think of another sport where you have to do that. You know, you're back and forth that way. I know in golf you've got 18 holes, but you take them one at a time. In bowling, you can't get a double unless you strike on both lanes. A little slower speed here, Dan. Maybe he just relaxed because he's so far ahead. But the match is not over. Creeps right through the nose. Very fortunate. Leaves only the 4-7. He needs to fill in the 10th frame here to shut out Joe Firpo. 17 pins.
Wow. 8-pin almost stood along with that 6.
And that would have been disaster, too.
Yes.
Needs to pick up this.
Thing you have to love about watching this guy's game is, wow, was that an aggressive shot there.
He makes all them all the time in clutch situations. At the 6 pin. Has the spare. Needs 8 now for a win.
I mean, Parker gets his money's worth when he's out there.
He's such a classy player to watch bowl. Just always is beyond reproach in behavior. I mean, it's great public relations for the PBA. Needs 8 to lock it up. It doesn't do it. 7, we could have a tie. With that final pin following, at least ensured him a tie. 224 he finishes with.
He looks up, Joe Firpo looks up, and then gets up slowly.
See, what happened was they're looking at the automatic score right above their pair, and it had the wrong score up there for a second.
Well, how'd you like to be Joe Firpo? You're struggling big time on the right-hand lane, and now you got to throw 3 strikes just to stay in play.
Hey, at least he's got a chance. 1 ball ago, he didn't have a prayer.
Boy, what a good shot in the 4-pin stance. Nice shot, made the adjustment, moved left, and Joe said, hey, I did all I could do, Parker. You just bested me in this match. Firpo finishes 4th. Parker Bohn moves on into the semifinal match to take on Amleto Monacelli when we come back.
Hi, I'm Marcel.
And I'm Frank.
We started the Lilac City Tournament 26 years ago.
And we plan to pay over $1 million in the 94 Lilac.
There's great team events for men, women, and mix.
And the Lilac has doubles and singles events.
So bowl in Rochester, New York, at the Lilac.
With 18 great events, any bowler with a league average can win in the Lilac.
Call 1-800-36-LILAC for all the details.
Bowl in Rochester. You could be one of our big winners in the Lilac City Tournament.
Right down to the 10th frame between Joe Firpo and Parker Bohn III. Parker Bohn holding on, winning 224 to 203 in match number 2 here at Woodland Bowl. Next week, the Brunswick Memorial World Open, the granddaddy of the fall tour on the PBA circuit from Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich, Illinois. All the action begins at 7:30 Eastern Time next Wednesday night. And don't forget, as soon as we're done here, a 10-round junior lightweight bout on top-ranked boxing from the Biloxi Bell in Biloxi, Mississippi. You won't want to miss that one. And while we've got just a moment here before the semifinal match starts, Mike Durbin is standing by with our top seed this week, Jason Couch.
Thank you, Danny. With me is our tournament leader so far this week, Jason Couch. Jason, you've had an outstanding week so far. You've been bowling very well.
I'm very pleased with it.
Okay. Last year, you had an excellent year. You made over $50,000. You're the PBA Rookie of the Year. Sometimes we think the sophomore jinx is going to hit us, but that hasn't happened to you, has it?
I made sure it didn't happen. I saw some other guys go through it out here, and I just told myself to work hard and keep going. Okay.
That working hard paid off by getting your first victory back on the Winter Tour.
Yes, Mike, I won the Tums Classic in Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Okay. You did that from the top spot, too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This fall, just last September, you got married. That must be agreeing with you so far this fall.
It's helped out. I'm bowling for the top spot again, so I hope it works out. My wife couldn't be here tonight, and I'd just like to say hi. I miss you, and I love you.
She's with you most times, though, huh?
Oh, all the time, pretty much.
All right. You have an opportunity here. You know, you just got married. You're having a great year. Now you have an opportunity to bowl for your first major championship. What would winning the Touring Players Championship mean to you?
Oh, many things. I need to get back into the General Tire Tournament of Champions because I only have one title, so I really need to win this tournament tonight to get there. Plus, it would boost my earnings up.
Okay, and it's something special about winning a major, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, guys look at, you know, how many titles you have, but the majors seem to stick out.
Okay. One last question. You won from the top spot in Windsor Locks. You're at the top spot here. Any special strategy?
Well, I feel like if I bowl Parker Bohn, I feel like I'm going to have it pretty easy tonight.
Oh, boy. Well, a little jab right there to Parker. We'll see how that goes. Denny, you take that away from here.
Well, if Parker's going to get to his buddy, Jason Couch, he's going to have to go right through two-time Player of the Year, Amleto Monacelli, when we return.
You hoped he would fly forever, that he would continue to soar, for Michael Jordan accomplished what others could not.
This is the greatest performance ever.
Time and time again, he showed us things we couldn't believe and gave us moments we wouldn't forget.
The Bulls win! They win!
Now all the excitement of the Jordan career is captured in this exclusive collection from Sports Illustrated, the Michael Jordan Thrill Pack. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, where millions of readers joined Michael on his amazing adventure. Call this toll-free number now and get your free collector special that lets you relive the thrilling moments in the career of the man who became a legend. First, you'll get Come Fly With Me 91, a video flight that takes off with a great view of Michael's early days in North Carolina. The fantastic flight continues to the NBA for the original slam and jam and excitement. Your thrill pack continues with your second free video, Michael Jordan Airtime. It's Michael at the peak of his incredible talent. You go behind the scenes and stay with him everywhere as he achieves his championship dreams. At home and on the road, you'll get a feel for what it's like to be Michael Jordan Superstar.
Superman is back in the building!
Your free thrill pack also includes this collector's edition of Sports Illustrated, 3 Seasons to Savor. It's full-color excitement to let you run with the Bulls during their championship years. Don't miss Michael in this dazzling collection that has all the thrills of his career in one big 3-pack thrill pack. It's available only from Sports Illustrated, the magazine that gets you into sports like no one else. Call now to subscribe or renew and get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. SI and your free thrill pack make great gifts. Don't miss your free thrill pack. Now it's the only way to fly. There is nothing in the world like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
A cool million, a stellar field, and golf on the island of Maui. Tee off with some of golf's finest as they compete in the Kapalua International. Tomorrow and Friday live on ESPN.
Well, you'd pay real money to watch these two go at it, wouldn't you?
Two very, very, very good players, I'll tell you. Amleto, 2-time Player of the Year. As we said, Amleto's kind of a throwback in that he doesn't change equipment a lot. He does change speeds. He changes hand positions. He's in tremendous physical shape.
And he can trip the four-pin. And that's what really counts. Oh, trip the 4, slap the 10, and head to the bank.
And swish the 5, and you definitely head to the bank then.
This guy's not worrying about all that. He says, I'll just throw it right in the pocket. Bang. And a little how do you do with a 6-pin, he says.
Trip to trip.
Oh.
trip to trip, and we got Parker III, so. For the quick double to take the 10-pin lead.
Bang! Walked right into that shot.
Oh, he's just so pretty to watch. Amleto may be the best field bowler on the PBA Tour. He just has an instinct for the game. Although he works hard at it too, he's certainly one of the hardest workers at it.
Long loopy arm swing, and he takes out the 10-pin. Stride for stride, these thoroughbreds as they break the gate.
Amleto, who speaks 3 different languages, speaks Spanish, which is his native tongue, Italian, where his parents are both from, and of course English.
Interesting. He said that his dad wanted him to learn Italian because both his mom and dad are from Italy, and he said, in this house we'll speak Italian. Of course, we live in Venezuela, so we need to learn to speak Spanish, and of course over here now he's learned the English language. And he's also learned a lot about accounting.
Because he makes so much money. Ooh. Leaves the 6 and the 10. Interesting that the better lane for him is the right lane that gave Firpo so much trouble. He's chosen to finish on that lane.
Different piece of equipment for the spare.
Yeah, and he said that normally he doesn't do that. He doesn't like to change balls, but if there's not enough oil in the middle, he'll do that. So he must feel that, and he chops the 6 off the 10. Boy, you can see that one coming halfway down the lane. And again, he's probably thinking I shouldn't have changed balls right now.
That hurts.
It really hurts. Puts you in a hole right away with a match game player like Parker, who is just ready to pounce on that mistake.
How about another one? And look at this gentleman here. He's rooting on his #1 player. And, of course, you utilized Josh last year in a tip from Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, that's right. And he knows that he's on television here. Josh, who has MS, is just a sweetheart of a kid. And both Jason and Parker stopped at their house, at the Hines house, on the way down and spent some time there.
Looks back at us. Never misses an ESPN bowling show. I don't care what time it's on. Major League Bowling fan there. And Parker Bohn trying to keep the string alive, ends up with a 7-pin.
Parker said that he didn't miss a frame that Parker bowled this week.
You mean Josh didn't miss?
Right.
Parker told me he missed 3 spares this week. That's it.
In 48 games.
Yep. That's how you get to the television show.
2 of them were double wood, right, is what he said?
Right, and he missed a single-pin spare last night, I think, during the last game. Well, Amleto tries to shake off the open frame in the 30s, down by 23. It's time to get back to business.
Little double dribble there. And again, the 6-10. See, what he is trying to do, Dan, is he's trying to roll the ball more rather than really lift up on it. And the way that he does that is he gets the push away in motion quicker, so he has to kind of run to catch up with it, and he doesn't have the time to really hit the ball hard. When he wants to hit it harder, he delays the push away a little bit more, so he has a little more time at the top of his backswing. Boy, he almost missed that one too. Holds the ball right up here. Now watch as he pushes it away. He'll step with the left foot and push it down right away. Real quick. See, he's got it out almost like a 4-step approach, then moves real quick to catch up. Here's the key right here. Here's the pivot. Look at how high, look at how the ball is turned out there. And he's going to stay behind and basically roll it right here. Doesn't get it, well, he did get that one over the foul line. He was setting it down a little bit quicker earlier in practice.
Sent that ball a little further to the right, but yeah, I think he's got a little hold area on 59. He's much more comfortable on the left-hand lane.
But he picked to finish on the right lane. It was his choice.
He's playing deeper than Firpo, too.
Oh, much deeper.
Yeah.
5 boards deep.
And the ball still hooking early on 60.
9-7. He's hardly missed the pocket. Just a professional player. Comes right out, goes about his business, switches balls, shoot the 7-pin.
Do you not mind the solid taps in a match like this when you know your opponent really is not keyed in, and what you're doing is just shooting 9 spare?
Well, I think your mental framework is there that they're part of the match. They're part of the game. You're going to leave some, so the idea is, I know that I'm going to get a certain number of strikes and I'm going to put them together and I'm just going to make the spare and move on. He just exudes confidence out there. His body English, the way he walks.
Point being, he's lined up on this pair of lanes, and when Parker Bohn gets lined up, he'll make mincemeat out of most people. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, class. This is Learning to Program Your VCR 101. Step 1, setting the clock.
You don't need an advanced degree to program your VCR. Just a new one-for-all VCR Pro. The easiest to use VCR programmer that's also a universal remote. Easy, because it leads you through VCR programming with step-by-step instructions.
Step 2, learning the little buttons.
The VCR Pro from One for All, the easiest of all.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising. Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game. Only at your local pro shop.
No good news for Monacelli fans in the 6th.
Yeah, the washout, the 1, 2, 7, 10. Got 9 out. And just not lined up like Parker is. Sent it wider on the first ball, and it didn't make it back. He'd been going high. Here's his attempt to convert this very difficult spare. Has to get the ball left of the head pin, have the ball run down to get the 2 and the 7, which that happens, but the pin doesn't flatten out to get the 10. Now he has the 2-5. Straight it in. A conversion, but spares aren't going to win this match.
Not now, anyway. Parker Bohn on a strike in the 6th. The double here really sends the message.
Yeah, we're going to find out whether Jason Couch's bravado is justified pretty quick.
He was having a little fun at the top of the show. Well, Parker swinging that one a little too far to the left.
Just a little lapse in concentration. He's too far ahead. And here's that double wood. He missed 2 of these during the week. Now, what he did earlier and what he does normally is throw hard and straight at him. And he told us that the way he changed to convert it is he hooked it at him.
Let's see what he does here.
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to hook it at it then. And he does. He hooks it at it. It looks so bad.
Sure. Go ahead and hook it at it.
Wow, I'll tell you what. He hit that thin, and it still got back to get that 9-pin. That was a cute little spare there.
Beats the alternative. Amleto wondering what he could have done on the right-hand lane here this evening to give himself a chance.
Brooklyn. These are the 4 set. When I wonder, does he wonder that in English, Spanish, or Italian?
Probably a combination of the 3.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. When he gets angry and says that, we never know what he's saying out there. He can never get fined for bad language.
It's a cross between Spanish and Italian. He's got his own language.
Although if he says something bad in Spanish, Johnny Campos speaks Spanish.
That's exactly right.
Johnny is our national tournament director.
And I have a feeling Johnny's probably picked up a little Italian on the tour this year. Was defeated earlier this year by guess who? The guy he's bowling right now. Wow. Now, see, he's done everything. Now, that's why he put his hands up in the air. He swung the ball further on the last shot right. Now he leaves the washout. Now he moves even deeper, tries to tighten it up and find the oil line, and he finds nothing more than 9 out. Hey, he's made the moves.
Just a tough pair. just a tough pair. At the 4-7. Not a whole lot you can do. You finish out the string. I mean, the best he can get if he strikes out is 190. Parker would have to have a total collapse.
Guarantee you right now, Monacelli's thoughts have already shifted to the state of Illinois and the Brunswick Memorial World Open. Move along from this one and start thinking about the big one next week. Be a nice way to cap off the year.
Of course, Amleto just takes it one frame at a time. There's no quit in him at all. He'll finish out the string with class. But he just can't get it in the 1-3. Started off the match all right, but since then it's been all downhill.
2-4-5 on lane 59 for the 13-time champion who shot 300 this week in the opening round of match play.
At the 2-4-5. And it's been the open frame that's been his undoing. That and Parker Bohn. 3 open frames for Amleto. Parker needs to get his concentration back and get his act back together here. So he's ready for Jason. And suddenly he's confused himself.
I think you might be right, though. I think he knew Amleto was struggling all along, and he's lost his edge a little bit. I'll guarantee you the focus will be back when Jason returns.
Yeah, but he went light and then high. It's just not a good sign now. Anytime, you know, what goes through a player's mind when that happens is no area. And it's like a neon sign flashing in your forehead. You know, and he doesn't get a chance to throw again on 60 until he's going to be competing against Jason Couch.
Light hit ripper. Parker Bohn, a winner here in the semi-final match. Amleto sits down and cashes for $8,500 here this week in Indianapolis when we come back. Championship frame, then, of course, the start of our title match.
Just one more strike for a 300 game.
For the inside track on your favorite bowlers, become part of the PBA fan club.
All fan club members receive the PBA media guide and pro programs along with your official membership card. Also, for a limited time only, this Millionaires Club poster is included.
So don't wait. Call today. Call 1-800-299-4PBA for your membership in the PBA fan club.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub. Fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for most valuable pain reliever.
A family grows. From one generation to the next, they learn from each other and depend on each other. With life insurance from the Farmers Insurance Group, your family can depend on protection now. Life insurance can also help you put money away for your retirement. For safety today and security tomorrow. Farmers Insurance Group. For life.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowitz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
All right, time now to take a look at our championship frame here this evening. Let's start off with match number 1, and it was a baby split in the 10th.
And it was a grind out all the way through, Dan. Firpo was never lined up on this right lane. He needed a mark in the 10th frame, wound up leaving the baby split, the 310. Showed us how to perfectly convert it. Just straight and hard, hit the 3-pin on the right. He was pretty confident as soon as he let it go. Very nonchalant conversion there. He moved on.
Opening match win, 206 to 201 over Joe Salvemini. Then it was on to the second match of the evening. Joe Firpo again, this time needing a strike.
Well, you needed 3 of them, but of course you got to take them one at a time. He needed all 3 to tie the match. Again, he'd been struggling on the right lane, made as good a shot on the right lane as he made. Just between the 3rd and 4th arrows, the ball crept high, left the 4-pin. The 9 was up there too, but he had to have the strike. His reaction, come on, please. Oh, I'm lost.
One last look at the 4-pin to see if it might fall, and it didn't. Parker Bohn, 224 to 203 over Joe Firpo. Then the semi-final match, well, it was a bit lopsided between Parker Bohn and Amleto Monacelli. Amleto never really got started after a quick double. The final there, 225 to 157. When we come back, just 2 players left vying for the Touring Players Championship here from Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis. Parker Bohn III and Jason Couch, who said all along that he was waiting for Parker.
A 40-year-old woman who loves a kid cereal. Just doesn't add up.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are just for kids.
I face 5 alarmers, and I can't face my 5-year-old at breakfast.
Proving again that even the most courageous can't resist that sweet crunch in cold milk.
I love them, but I can't tell you why.
The secret's out. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
It was my first serious dinner at his family's.
There's so much food. This is Greg's favorite dish.
And my first serious heartburn. And I learned some things.
Oh, no, these are different. Tums has calcium.
Most antacids don't. Of all these, the only one that helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day is Tums.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums.
At Radio Shack, we've always made the latest technology easy to understand for your family. And now our CD-ROM computers make it easy to bring entire libraries to life. Experience the power of Tandy multimedia computers. Only at Radio Shack.
In Colorado, there's all kinds of ways to go down our mountains. Let's check them out. But no matter how you go down our mountains, we've made it a lot easier to come on up. Just call for our free vacation kit with the Continental Discount Certificate. Done. Then take it easy. Or hard. Or, oh man.
Saturday afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a Big Ten rivalry, Minnesota at Illinois. Fighting Illini still have an outside shot at the Rose Bowl, and of course Minnesota has already proven that they are a very good football team. Later on that evening, Clemson at 17th ranked North Carolina. That one starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. CFA action on ESPN. Parker Bohn, Jason Couch, 2 of the best lefties on the PBA Tour, set to go at it for the Touring Players Championship.
And Jason showing his intelligence already. He's making Parker finish on that right lane where he was kind of lost the last half of the game.
Once was lost, and now I'm found on the left-hand lane.
Well, he's been right there on the left-hand lane all along. Let's see what he does when he get over to the right lane. Jason, a power player all the way. Just winds it up and rips it and lets it go left. 5 steps. Twist it up.
Solid hit, 6-pin stands on lane 60.
Hey, blow that air out. That heart is pumping right now. He really looks a little uptight right now. Young man.
23 years of age.
Remember back when you were 23, Dan?
Sure. Wasn't that long ago.
Got the spare under his belt.
BPA Sergeant-at-Arms Charlie Brehop on hand to watch the festivities here this evening.
They did a great job in this tournament. Had about almost 1,500 Pro-Am entries.
Wow. This bowling center is second to none in this area.
Oh, it's beautiful.
80 lane bowling center that's as nice a facility as you're going to find anywhere in the country. Oh, look at this one come rumbling back, big fella.
He caught all of that one, I'll tell you. I'm really curious to see Parker's shot on this lane now. Went light, left the 3-9, and then went high the last two shots. What kind of adjustment do you make? Just throw it perfect. I'll tell you what.
Want to go down and ask him?
Yeah, well, we may get a chance. Watch the quality shot. Again, look at the follow-through and the balance. Right on balance. See that left foot kick over? Man. And then just perfect in the 1-2 pocket.
Those pins disappear so fast. Gone.
You get so much power with such a smooth delivery, though.
That ball's moving at the bottom of the swing. Needs a little help. Can't seem to get the 7-pin to fall.
And he knew it. I mean, you can feel that when it comes off your hand. And, you know, he was walking to the left and looking at the 7-pin all the way. Cross lane, hard and straight at the 7-pin. He's just dead center with all of them. He's not even close to missing anything.
Couple of strikes and a 7-pin. Jason Couch down by 9, but on a strike in the second.
Makes that rosin, doesn't he? It's a cloud with that rosin.
And rosin on the hand, rosin on the shoe. Then he takes the steel brush to the shoe. Then he's got this. He's got a lot of things going on here.
Well, a little nervous mannerisms, huh?
Yep.
Blows that air out. Rip it out there. Ooh, wow. The old equalizer, the Greek church. See if I can get the numbers right on the left-handed. He's got the 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. 7, 8, 10. He's got to go probably at the 3 pins. Wants to go hard over here and hope something's going to bounce across and get these two. But as hard as he can do it, it's possible. That was the idea.
Oh, yes, a familiar face on ESPN. Bob Jenkins, the host of Speed Week, decided to stop by and watch the boys come play here. I was going to say, he watched a wreck there on lane 60. He's seen enough of those in his time.
He said this is the first bowling finals that he's ever been to.
Yeah.
Watch this shot. The 4-pin there nips the 8, goes right across and gets the 10, but nothing, no good break coming out to get the 6.
Got to get back on track right here and right now. Oh, look at the 9-pin. I think it got hit 2 or 3 times. It was stunned. A jab, another jab, and finally down. Meanwhile, Parker Bohn knows that he is playing a guy that can throw a lot of strikes, so he wants to stay ahead, keep the heat on.
And again, it seems like the key lane for both of them is the right lane, 60. Just as it was for the right-handers. Tie. 2-4-7. Well, you let up at all. You don't make a perfect shot on that lane, and it's going through the beak. That's what this is all about, though. You know, there was a great line in the League of Our Own movie, you know, where she said it was so hard. He said, the hard is what makes it good. And that's this condition.
Just mentioned Bob Jenkins. I wonder if he'd fit into the trophy there.
No, I don't think quite, but it's a beautiful trophy, isn't it?
I'll guarantee he'd know how fast that car was going to be heading. 27,000 and a beautiful trophy here. The winner of the Touring Players Championship. A major event for the players. Only Touring 1s and Touring 2s are invited to this one. And Parker Bohn right now is the host.
And quickly to explain what that means, Touring 2s means you bowled half the tournaments. Touring 1s means you bowled 2/3.
So in essence, the players that are out here grinding it out week in and week out are the ones that qualify to play in this event.
That's correct. And that's why the players regard this as another major, because it's their tournament.
Jason looking for a comeback.
Oh. Oh, he's had no good luck on that lane. The solid 10. We saw Parker leave that last game. Parker says to him, that lane does that. Now watch, you're going to see the 3-pin go right up over the top again. In fact, it didn't go over the top. It just kind of died the gutter on the right. Boy, he had that one counted. He had that one absolutely counted.
He was heading to 59.
Wow, he says, what do I got to do? I finally make the perfect shot on that lane. I leave a solid 10. I'm still 18 pins behind, and he's on a strike.
Not a good scenario.
Half the game gone. Well, he's still smiling, though, I'll tell you what. These two are very good friends. They roomed together. They came down to my bowling center last winter and put on an exhibition for the junior league together. So,
you know, that same day, they both came down to Fred Borden's Bowling Center for our fundraiser for the Akron Zoo and bowled in that. I mean, you're talking about two classy guys here that love the game of bowling and are giving back to the game. I think that's the important message here. Jason says, give me a strike. Okay, I threw a perfect hit. I got a strike. I'll just sit down. Thank you very much. I'll see what I can do the next strike.
That should have been a turkey. I should be ahead of this match.
That's exactly right. Parker knows that, too.
Yeah, 20 pins that cost him.
Crucial shot on the right-hand lane.
Right now, he's just hoping that Parker doesn't double, that he keeps in the match, because he thinks he's figured out the right lane. And he doesn't. The solid 7, so it's back and forth. It's going to go down to the 10th frame, I think, Dan, and who can strike in the 10th frame.
As it should be. Top seeds have won a record 20 tournaments this year on the PBA Tour.
Jason's just trying to make it 21. He wants to get to 21.
Boy, talk about opposite ends. Parker averaged 192 on this pair of lanes, and Jason averaged 275.
So far in 2.5 games, Parker's left 6, 7 pins. Made them all, too. Is he going to get it? Yes!
A late night message. No, not from David Letterman, but from the head pin.
Watch that head pin. The number 1 pin goes to the sideboard, bounces off, and comes back to deliver the message to the 7 pin. Sometimes you think it's going to come up short, but this one doesn't. A little slow motion falling action.
Jason on the right-hand lane left a solid 10 the last trip.
Big shot here. Big shot.
Oh, he gave it room. Oh! Spanked that 10 pin. Did you see him spank it?
He was looking at it, too. I'll tell you what, that gets him right back in the match. The first double by Jason Couch. That heart is pumping right now, and he's thinking, take the lead. Look at it. Now carry. Is that what he said? Yes! 8 pins. This is for the lead. First time in the match.
I'm not sure who coined the phrase young lion, but this is one of them. He's growling right now.
Parker, you can hear him too. For the lead. Boy, the power on that ball just blows that 7 pin out of there. Well, when your opponent does this, he throws a ball like this, there's only one reaction that you can have. Watch how this 4 pin snaps that 7 pin out. You got to answer with your own. Jason gives it a little pointy there.
A handful by Parker Bohn. He says, all right, the match is heating up, so will I. And I'll just show you what I got on that right-hand lane.
And that's where he's going to have to finish, too. We're getting down now. 8 pins back in Parker's ballpark right now. Both players on doubles. If they both strike out, Parker's going to win, but he needs the foundation strike here. This is his good lane.
He likes it. Ooh, maybe a little too much speed.
Yeah, more speed and just not enough roll. That ball skidded another 2 feet down the lane. Relatively easy spare in the 3-6. But that cuts his lead down to 6 pins. And now he can be shut out. Just a little bit too much power here, too much speed. Not as good a release as he wanted, although it looked good to me there. It just went further down the lane. 6 pins the difference. Jason can make it up. He can strike on his tough lane right here, the 9th frame. A lot of room. Wow, is that clutch?
Perfect shot by Jason Couch, who has snared the lead down the stretch, and he's got it with both hands.
Gave it a lot of room, and it's all 10 in the pit, Dan. Just perfect. That gives him the lead by 4 pins. 3 pins. No, it is 4. It is 4 pins.
On the board, 238 if he takes it out.
The best Parker can get is 224. So this and 7 in a spare, and he locks him out.
Top seed looking to grab himself a title. Oh, what a beautiful shot by Jason Couch, and all Parker can do is applaud the effort.
I'll tell you what, for a 23-year-old going for his first major with only one other PBA victory, that shows you something, and that all that pressure throwing the ball that well. Now, is he going to get defensive here, or will he be just as aggressive? 7 pins in a spare, and he's got to win 9, and he shuts him out. Just hit the 1-2 pocket. With that ball, you always get 9, at least. Hasn't missed this lane this game.
And he's not about to here. Wow. Good night, Parker. He said he wanted him, and it was a friendly match. But Jason Couch just turned on the afterburners, and is going to take this one right off the sheet, Mike Durbin.
I'll tell you, from the 5th frame out, it could have been from the 4th frame out, because he left that solid 10 in the 5th frame. He strikes it out from the 6th here. 238 is what he's going to wind up with a strike. 7. Oh my goodness! I don't know what happened there, but they just broke the machine. He's got enough to win without that, though.
Oh my, Jason and the rest of us in shock, and thank goodness it didn't mean anything.
I'll tell you.
Parker Bohn's going to contest the match.
No, he says you got to get it between the swinging sign there. Oh, they pulled it away.
When we come back, a look at the... All right, we're going to stay here first as Parker Bohn finishes out the match. Well, an unusual ending as we look at the top 24. Richard Wolf just missed. Rick Steelsmith was 7th this week.
And, of course, our player of the year so far, Walter Ray, finished 8th with Scott Devers in the 9th spot.
What a year for Walter Ray. Eric Forkel 10th, and Brian Goebel was number 11 this week.
And in 12th, Ryan Schaefer that we saw last week, and Dave Arnold that we saw in Rochester.
Oh, what a talented top 24. Norm Duke, who bowled brilliantly last week in a victory, was 14th. Mike Edwards, a solid 15th.
In 16th, Kelly Kaufman, we saw in Rochester with that 259. Ernie Schlegel in the finals 2 weeks in a row.
Well, he makes it on the regular tour, but he has no interest in the senior side of things. Danny Wiseman, 18th. Justin Romick, 19th.
20th spot, steady Tony Westlake and Brad Kazuski in 21st.
Rounding out the top 24, Phil Ringner, number 22, and Dennis Jakes, 23rd.
And, of course, 24th spot went to Bob Powell and our alternate, Vaughn Kruger.
All right, when we come back, they have finished things up here, and Jason Couch, the top seed, has his first major championship, probably the first of many to come in an outstanding career.
Take off to new heights. Meet an unsung hero. Sink your teeth into an old tale or see a new one with a twist. Then reel in the good times on HBO. And cast your vote for the most movies on pay TV on Cinemax. See celebrated stars in dynamic dramas, captivating classics, or in a league of their own. It's a surefire hit for all your favorite films on Cinemax. The sky's the limit with HBO and Cinemax in November, so call now.
Hey guys and girls, head on over to Hennigan's for a fun time. fine dining in a casual atmosphere, whether it's the whole gang or an intimate dinner with that someone special, Hennigan's is the place. On Tuesdays, get a dozen wings for 99 cents. Thursdays are Schwing nights with 1 pound of shrimp and 2 dozen wings for $7.95. And get prime rib every Friday and Saturday night for only $11.95. There's even a light menu for those who are watching their weight. So come join the fun and your friends at Hennigan's.
And see all the NFL action every Sunday. Sit back. Let us do the work. ESPN NFL Primetime. We'll find every bone-crushing hit, search out every key play, and mix insight from our pros into television's fastest hour of football. NFL Primetime. Sunday night at 7 Eastern, only on ESPN.
The championship round finals of the Touring Players Championship are being brought to you by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. And by calcium-rich Tums. Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium. Jason Couch, the winner of the Touring Players Championship in a brilliant performance. And Bob Leap, you have a rather unusual and unique trophy to present to our champion.
Yes, we sure do. Jason, congratulations on your outstanding victory this week. On behalf of the Central Indiana Bowling Proprietors Association, I'd like to present you with this race car trophy.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Pretty nice award there.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a gorgeous award.
All right, James, step over now because you've got a big-time check to present to this talented left-hander.
Jason, this is from the bowlers of the city of Indianapolis and Woodland Bowl.
Thank you very much.
Way to go. Good bowling.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start.
All right, well, just hold on a second. We'll take a break, and you can gather your thoughts, and when we come back, you can spit it all out to us, all right?
All right.
We'll be right back to Indianapolis with our newest champion, Jason Couch.
Imagine a cold medication so effective, one tablet keeps symptoms from coming back a full 24 hours. Introducing Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief. Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours, Tavist after 12. So your symptoms keep coming back. But just one Effidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours. So your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising. Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game, only at your local pro shop.
238-214, the final score. Jason, an exciting finish for you.
It sure was. When I left that split in the third frame, I just thought Parker's the last person you want to leave a split against because he's not going to miss the pocket.
Michael?
When you were finishing out that match, you finished so strong in the 9th and 10th frame. I was just curious what was going through your mind at that particular point in time.
What went through my mind? I said, shut him out or you will lose. That's it.
Well, you talked earlier that you were ready for him and that he would be easy. Was he as easy as you anticipated?
No, he wasn't, but I finally told him this week, I said, I'm tired of finishing second to you no matter where we go.
Well, it sounds like you've got a nice friendly rivalry. Obviously, you're very good friends.
Yeah, I love him as a roommate. He's great.
You know, it's interesting, Mike, because going back to the days when I worked on the PBA Tour, I had a chance to watch a great young left-hander win his first tournament out in Las Vegas. He just happens to be a guy that lives in Indianapolis, Mike Albee, and you're bowling a lot more like him every single day.
Well, if I can follow in his footsteps, I think I'll be going into the Hall of Fame.
He will be shortly.
There's just one special thing I'd like to say. I wanted to win this week, especially to dedicate it to Mr. Andy Lee, which worked for the company that I work with, Ebonite, and he passed away over the break. So this is for Andy Lee.
All right.
Well, that's a nice thought.
Well said. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see if Jason can make it 2 in a row next week, perhaps in the Brunswick Memorial World Open. So long, everyone. The PBA Fall Tour makes its final stop of the 1993 season at Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich, Illinois, for the championship round finals of the Brunswick Memorial World Open, which begins at 7:30 Eastern Time, Wednesday, November 10th. And coming up next, it's Top Rank Boxing from the Biloxi Bell in Biloxi, Mississippi.